In 1996, the world's most famous superhero company officially died. Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Avengers, gone. Buried under a massive mountain of debt, Marvel filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Their stock plummeted by 90%, they fired hundreds of workers, and the doors were closing. Hollywood thought comic books were dead forever. But just 13 years later, Disney bought that exact same failing company for an astonishing $4 billion. This is the chaotic story of how Marvel went from absolute financial ruin to creating the highest-grossing film empire in human history. To understand the collapse, we have to go back to the early 1990s. Marvel was printing money, but it wasn't because of movies. It was because of comic book collectors. People were buying dozens of copies of the exact same comic, believing they would be worth millions in the future. Wall Street took notice. A corporate investor named Ron Perlman bought Marvel and aggressively pushed them to produce hundreds of different comic book variants just to exploit the hype. But then, the bubble burst. Collectors realized these comics weren't actually rare. Sales collapsed overnight. Desperate for cash, Marvel made a choice that almost ruined their future. They started selling off their children. They sold the movie rights of Spider-Man to Sony. They sold X-Men to Fox. They sold the Hulk to Universal. Marvel was left with no cash and no main characters. By 2005, a quiet executive named Kevin Feige realized a painful truth. Marvel was letting other studios make billions off their characters while they only made pennies. So Marvel decided to make the ultimate gamble. They risked everything. They took a $525 million loan. The terms of the loan were terrifying. If their next movies failed, the bank would legally own the rights to every single character Marvel had left. With their back against the wall, they looked at the characters they had left. Spider-Man was gone. Wolverine was gone. They were left with a B-list character that audiences barely cared about. Iron Man. They hired a controversial actor whose career was in tatters, Robert Downey Jr., and poured every cent into a single film. If it flopped, Marvel would cease to exist. In May 2008, Iron Man hit theaters. It grossed $585 million, launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and completely revolutionized Hollywood. Marvel proved that a business downfall isn't the end of your story. It's just the setup for the ultimate pivot.